May 1718. The wind howled through the rigging of Queen Anne's Revenge, as the city of Charleston lay in chaos beneath a canopy of cannon smoke. Blackbeard stood at the helm, his broad figure silhouetted against the setting sun. His steely eyes scanned the harbor, where ships sat paralyzed, their crews helplessly watching as his men seized control of the port. It wasn't treasure Blackbeard sought this time. It was medicine and power. The cannons roared again, sending tremors through the harbor. His face, half obscured by his infamous beard, braided with smoking fuses, bore no hint of hesitation. This blockade was a bold move, a direct challenge to the British Empire. But it was also a dangerous one. How far could he push before the Crown sent its forces to stop him? As the echoes of the cannon fire faded into the evening, a letter from a trapped merchant captured the terror of the moment. "We are at the mercy of Blackbeard, the pirate who controls our port. His men have surrounded the city, and his demands grow bolder with each passing day. He is not a man but a monster, his very presence striking fear into the hearts of all who see him. God help us all." This blockade wasn't just about Charleston, it was a display of Blackbeard's growing power. But how had he become the pirate king who ruled the seas? To understand the man behind the legend, we must first travel back to where it all began. 1716. The young Edward Teach was not yet Blackbeard, but his reputation was already building. In 1716, Teach sailed under the command of the notorious pirate captain Benjamin Hornigold, one of the most respected and feared figures in Nassau. Teach was learning fast, absorbing everything Hornigold taught him about piracy, navigation, and, most importantly, the power of fear. "You see, Teach," Hornigold had once said, "piracy isn't just about plunder. It's about terror. A single well-placed rumor, a whisper in the right tavern, can make a ship surrender before you even board it." It was here, under Hornigold's command, that Edward Teach began to understand the true value of his appearance, his towering height, his wild, untamed beard. Hornigold's words echoed in his mind as he developed his fearsome persona. But there was something more inside Teach, a hunger for something greater than even Hornigold had ever aspired to. Where did Teach come from? The details of his origins are as murky as the Caribbean waters. Some say he was born in Bristol, others claim he was the son of a wealthy merchant. The mystery only adds to the allure of the legend that would soon emerge. 1717. By 1717, Edward Teach had become Blackbeard, a name that sent chills through the Caribbean. His greatest prize came when he captured the French slave ship La Concorde. The moment was a turning point, marking his rise as one of the most feared pirates of his era. As the French ship approached, Blackbeard's men moved with swift precision. But it wasn't the number of pirates that made the French captain surrender, it was Blackbeard himself. His beard, braided and smoking, his eyes gleaming with menace, and the ominous black flag fluttering above his ship all worked in tandem to create an aura of inevitable doom. A French officer's account from the captured ship details the terror Blackbeard inspired. "We saw him before we heard him. The smoke in his beard made him look like a devil come to claim our souls. There was no point in fighting, for we knew this man was not to be crossed. Our captain surrendered without a shot fired." Blackbeard renamed the ship Queen Anne's Revenge, a bold statement of defiance against the British Crown, and armed it with 40 cannons. This wasn't just a ship, it was a fortress. But now, Blackbeard had to grapple with a dangerous question. How long could his reign last? By 1718, piracy was at its peak. The Caribbean, rich with trade routes and under the influence of rival empires, was the perfect breeding ground for lawlessness. Blackbeard thrived in this world, making alliances with other pirates and securing power over the seas. Nassau became a pirate haven, and men like Blackbeard were its kings. But the Crown had other ideas. The Treaty of Utrecht in 1713 had brought an end to Queen Anne's War, but it had also left thousands of privateers without work. Many of them, Blackbeard included, had turned to piracy. Now, the British Empire, tired of the disruption, was determined to crush the pirate threat. What would Blackbeard do when the British Navy inevitably came for him? Could he outmaneuver the world's greatest naval force, or was he destined to face the noose? May 1718. The blockade of Charleston was a masterstroke, but it also marked the beginning of Blackbeard's end. As the British received word of his brazen attack on one of their major colonies, plans were set in motion to hunt him down. Blackbeard's men grew restless as the days dragged on, but their captain remained calm. He had seen fear in the eyes of men who had tried to defy him, and he knew that Charleston would break. They always did. But Charleston's governor wasn't just complying with Blackbeard's demands, he was sending word to the British Navy. The Crown's patience had run out. Governor Alexander Spotswood of Virginia sent a letter to the Admiralty. The pirate Blackbeard has held Charleston hostage. His acts of terror must be ended. I request immediate authorization to dispatch forces to capture him. November 1718. By November 1718, the British forces were closing in on Blackbeard. Lieutenant Robert Maynard, commissioned by Governor Spotswood, was tasked with bringing the infamous pirate to justice. On the morning of November 22, 1718, Blackbeard's ship, Adventure, met Maynard's sloop off the coast of Ocracoke Island. The final battle was brutal. Cannon fire filled the air as the ships collided, and soon it came down to hand-to-hand combat. Blackbeard, towering over his enemies, fought with the ferocity of a man who knew he had nothing left to lose. Eyewitness account. One of Maynard's men later recalled the battle. Blackbeard fought like the devil himself, cutting down man after man. Even after he was shot, he kept coming. It took more than 20 cuts to bring him down, and still, he showed no fear. Blackbeard was shot 5 times and stabbed over 20 before he finally fell. Maynard, determined to prove his victory, severed Blackbeard's head and hung it from the bowsprit of his ship as they sailed back to Virginia, a grisly trophy of the pirate king's defeat. Blackbeard's death marked the end of the Golden Age of Piracy, but his legend lived on. His severed head, displayed as proof of his death, only fueled the myth that surrounded him. Was he truly the devil incarnate, as many believed? Or was he simply a man who knew how to manipulate fear to his advantage? Even in death, the mysteries of Blackbeard endure. His treasure, rumored to be buried somewhere along the eastern seaboard, has never been found. And as for the man behind the beard, was Blackbeard a monster, or was Edward Teach a man who became trapped in the legend he created? The story of Blackbeard is one of power, ambition, and the thin line between man and myth. From his early days as Edward Teach to his rise as the Pirate King, his life was marked by bold decisions, calculated risks, and a deep understanding of human fear. He challenged empires, terrorized seas, and met his end in a bloody confrontation, but his legend will never die. Blackbeard's story reminds us that legends are forged from the choices we make, and sometimes the myths outlast the man. If you've enjoyed this exploration of Blackbeard's legacy, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. There's more history and adventure waiting for you in the next chapter. Stay curious, seek wisdom, and we'll see you in the next chapter of history.